Hi everyone, I'm going to have a go at a sweet chestnut tree. I've got a photo reference here from the cards. I'll pop a link in for the playlist in the description for the tree practice series. This is all about practicing different types of trees. There's a little bit of Saunders Waterford, and this sweet chestnut we're going to do with a little bit of cadmium yellow, sap green and burnt umber. So they're the three colours that I'm using. So I'm going to come straight on to dry into the burnt umber. This is a round number 6. I'm going to follow the trunk up the direction it grows. So this is straight on to dry. The difference with this tree is you've got some foliage in between, and when you're doing that with watercolour you need to leave gaps, so you can always choose to do the foliage first or second, but make sure you're leaving a few gaps. So I'm coming down. I do tree trunks in a variety of ways. This one, to get the light, I'm going to lift a little bit of light out, so you're going to see a different approach. There's always lots of different ways to do things. I'm just going to bring in a little bit more tree trunk. I'm following that photographic reference. All trees are slightly different. Okay, so I've got a nice shape there. I'm going to rinse my brush out, dab it totally on the kitchen towel so it's basically nearly dry. And then I want to lift out some light. So just with that damp brush, I'm going to lift and dab off on the kitchen towel. This is naturally going to give me a light side to the tree and a dark side to the tree, and this is called lifting off. So I've got a really nice shadow there. Just going to wet underneath the tree. Take a little bit of sap green in. And then a little bit of the burnt umber for the direction of the shadow, which is that way. I'm now swapping to a oil painting brush. This hasn't been used in for oil, but it's a hog hair brush, and I'm going to do some stippling. So I'm checking the brush is clean, which it's not. It's got a lot of green on. So I've dabbed it into the water. I'm dabbing it off on the kitchen towel. I want to pick up some of the cadmium yellow first. I'm dabbing on and I'm rolling. I've got a rolling action. So this is the first colour that's going to go on, and then the sap green is going to go over the top. The key is to not get it too wet, so you can dab off again on the kitchen towel. So some tips for stippling. Make sure you're going in either into neat paint or onto a flat palette, because a weld palette, a bold palette, will always pick up too much on the brush. You want something flat, like a plate or just a flat palette. So I'm coming through that rolling action, dab, dab, dab. It's really important that you're doing the right action with the right angle of the brush to get that nice tree shape. I'm going to brush a little bit of a rinse out, dab that off, and I'm coming into the sap green. So I can start from the top. What's quite nice is when you use the yellow, it gives you a bit of comfort as to where you need to go. It's that same dabbing action. If you want to go darker, you can mix a bit of burnt umber into the mix of the sap green. You want to leave little bits of yellow showing. Don't eliminate all of your yellow. Lots and lots of dabbing and rolling that brush sort of left to right as you're doing that. Once you've then got that foliage on, you can come in with a rigger and just paint in any finer branches. So these are coming and showing through little bits of the foliage. So you can do a few of those, and it stops any foliage floating. And it's always best to do these at the very end. Don't be a slave to the photographic reference. There's an element where you have to use a little bit of artistic license, but you do want to reference the shape of the tree. So I've missed a bit here with the foliage, so I'm just going to come back in with a little bit more green and that stippling brush, just to bring that through there. Not quite gone heavy enough at that bottom section. And there we go. So that is a sweet chestnut tree. I'll pop a playlist down here and a link to another video here, and I shall see you next time.